Good morning, students. So as we were discussing about transportation in plants and animals, so we were discussing about circulatory system, and in that we were talking about blood. So we will continue with blood only. So as we all know, blood is a fluid connective tissue. So it is a tissue, that means it is a fluid connective tissue, okay, which is circulated throughout the body by the action of heart. That means which is circulated throughout the body by the action of by the action of pumping of heart by heart. Okay, so blood composed of different types of cells. Number one, we have red blood cell. Okay, red blood cell, or you can write RBC. It is also called erythrocytes. Okay, it is also called erythrocytes. So red blood cells or RBC is also called erythrocytes, and these cells is red in color. And why this RBC is red in color? That means why our blood is red in color? Due to the presence of hemoglobin. Due to the presence of hemoglobin, which is a red pigment. That means coloring agent. So all animals have blood, and all animals' blood is red in color. But there are few animals like sponge and hydra. Okay, that means these are aquatic animals. They are invertebrates actually. Okay, you will be knowing about vertebrates and invertebrates in your higher class. So they don't have this pigment. Hemoglobin. So they don't have any blood color, or you can say they don't have any blood. Okay, they simply transport the material through water. Okay, they simply transport the materials or the nutrients through water. Okay, but apart from these two, all living organisms, mostly animals, have blood, and their bloods are red in color. Few animals are there, they have bloods, but that is not red in color. Okay, so sponge and hydra. And one more thing, what is the function of this RBC? Why this is important? So red blood cell is important to transport the molecular oxygen. That means its function is to transport oxygen. Okay, that's why in this chapter we are talking about transportation in animals. Okay, so red blood cell function is to transport oxygen. It is red in color, and that red is due to the presence of hemoglobin. Second, we have white blood cell. Or you can write WBC, and this is also known as leukocytes. This is also called leukocyte. Okay, so these cells these cells are mostly white in color. Okay, it's not red. Okay, it's white in color. And what is the function of WBC? Its function is to protect the things. That means protect us from harmful antigens. Okay, its function is to protect us from harmful agents. Okay, as for example, if you have a fever, okay, if you have a fever and you take a medicine, the medicine, what that medicine do? The medicine will ignite this white blood cell, means it activates the white blood cell, which will help the germs to kill. Okay, in that case, if you don't have a medicine, that means if you don't take medicine, simply you take a rest, in that case also this WBC or leukocytes, what it do? It will help you to fight against the disease. So we talked about RBC, we talked about WBC. Now let's move to another part of blood, which is blood platelets, which is third one. Blood platelets. And I told you that when we have a fever, or when some virus or some bacteria infects our body, the blood platelets count will be lower. Okay, and due to that only we will feel weak. Okay, the third one is blood platelets. Blood platelets. It is also called thrombocytes. It is also called thrombocytes. Okay, so what is it? So it is a blood platelets which helps in blood clotting. And what is its function? It helps in blood clotting. Blood clotting means to stop the flow of blood. Okay, that means if you have a cut in your hand, okay, the blood will flow, but after some time it will clot. Okay, clot means jama ho jana. Okay, it will clot. Okay, and that clotting is due to this blood platelets. If there is no blood platelets, what will happen? The blood will continue flow, and eventually there will be a loss of blood and the person will die. Okay, so these blood platelets is very much important in terms of what you can say, to stop the flow of blood when there is any cut or piercing in our body. Okay, then we have blood plasma. Number 4, blood plasma. So here what happens in blood plasma, there is a soluble part of blood. Okay, so it is a soluble part of blood, okay, which have you can say various functions. As for example, it helps or it transports the organic fluids. Okay, it transports the organic fluids. That means it helps in transportation of nutrients. Transportation of nutrients or transportation of carbon dioxide from the blood to the lungs, and eventually from the lungs those carbon dioxide is released. Then we have blood serum, number 5th one, blood serum. So it has an organic solubility. Okay, so it has a protein. It has some proteins. It has some organic substance, and this blood serum helps in immunology. Immunology means to produce the immune system of our body. Okay, and also result in blood clotting also. It also helps in blood clotting. So these were all the 5 components of blood. Number 1, RBC, red blood cells or erythrocytes, WBC, white blood cells or leukocytes, then blood platelets or thrombocytes, blood plasma and blood serum. So we have 5 components of blood. Okay, 5 components of blood. So apart from these, one more important thing, that our body almost constitute of 6 to 7 liters of blood. That means a healthy person which has an average weight of 80 kilograms or 70 to 80 kilograms, they have almost 6 to 7 liters of blood. Okay, and with average person, they have almost 5 liter of blood. They have almost 5 liter of blood. Okay, so this was all about components of blood. Now let's talk about function of blood. Function of blood. So what are the function of blood? So as we know that blood has many functions. Okay, due to blood only we get energy. Okay, and if you have any disease, through blood only we will come to know that we have this type of diseases, or how healthy or how weak we are. How healthy or how weak we are. Okay, that means number 1, it is the vehicle for metabolic communication. Okay, it is the vehicle for metabolic communication between different body parts. Okay, that means metabolic communication means the activities which occurs mostly in the cells. Okay, it is done by blood, because it is a fluid connective tissue, and blood is only the part which runs throughout our body. Okay, which runs throughout our body. Second one, blood transport nutrients. Second one, transportation of nutrients. Transportation of nutrients. As discussed, okay, that means when we consume food, okay, that food get digested, and after digestion there is a finger-like projection in the stomach or in the small intestine which absorb the soluble part in the blood. Okay, and due to the reaction of oxygen, okay, this food gets burned and finally gives energy. Okay, that means they transport nutrients. Nutrients means food also, nutrients means gases also. They transport what? Gases also. Nutrients and gases also. Okay, gases means the oxygen that we take is transported through the blood only, and the carbon dioxide that we release is transported through blood only. Okay, so second one, it is used for transportation of nutrients and different gases. Also to remove the waste product. Okay, to remove the waste product from the body in the through our excretory system. Blood is one of the most important, what you can say, part. Okay, it helps to remove waste through kidneys. Okay, then we have blood transport oxygen same. Okay, gases, food and gases, that means they transport oxygen and carbon dioxide from the body and vice versa. Okay, so these are all the function of blood. Now how do blood transport oxygen? How do blood transport oxygen? Not nutrients. Nutrients I have talked. Okay, but also we will talk transport of nutrients. First of all, let's talk about transport of nutrients, that means food. That means when we consume food, when it is digested, after digestion of food, it is absorbed by blood vessels. Okay, it is absorbed by blood vessels, and after it is absorbed by blood vessels, it sends it to the blood, where the nutrients present in the blood is oxidized. That means nutrients present in the blood is oxidized. That means it comes in contact with the oxygen, and that oxygen we get it by respiration. So in the process of respiration, what happens? We take in oxygen, and we take in oxygen through nostril, trachea, okay, and lungs, where in lungs, at the end of the lungs, we have a capillaries which absorb oxygen, and that oxygen get mixed with blood. Okay, get mixed with blood, and there are various capillaries or blood vessels which have some specific function to transport oxygen and to release carbon dioxide. Okay, and that is all done by blood only. Okay, that means nutrients, foods and gases also, and oxygen, you can oxygen and carbon dioxide, or you can write simply gaseous, exchange of gases, exchange of gases. Okay, so digestion and respiration, okay, along with circulation, they have some specific function. They are connected, where blood act as a connecting link between respiration, digestion and circulation. Okay, so it is one of the most important part of our body. Okay, now let's move to another part, that is blood vessel. So blood vessel means, as I am talking about blood vessel, that means the path by which all the nutrients, all the gases are transported. Okay, the path. So let's talk about blood vessels. So basically we have three parts. In blood vessels we have three parts. Number one, vein, arteries and capillaries. Arteries, veins and capillaries. Okay, so blood vessels are divided into three parts: veins, arteries and capillaries. So let's talk about veins. Let's talk about veins. So veins are a tube-like blood vessels situated just under the skin. Okay, so it is the blood vessel which is situated just under the skin. Number one point, it is just under the skin and can be seen, and it can be seen through naked eyes. Okay, that means the greenish thing that we often see in our hands and in our necks. Okay, the greenish part which we can see at our hands and legs, greenish part or tube-like structure, mostly found in hands and legs, okay, are termed as, they are called veins. They are called veins. They can be easily seen as greenish blue tubes on our hands and legs. So another part, it carries carbon dioxide rich gas, carbon oxide rich blood. Okay, so it carries carbon dioxide rich blood to different parts of a body to heart. That means, as I told that when we consume or when we inhale oxygen, okay, that oxygen from the lungs, okay, it goes to the blood vessels and it helps to gives us energy. After giving energy, okay, when it releases carbon dioxide, it is carried through the veins. Okay, it is carried through the veins to where? Either to lungs or to heart. Basically, it carries to heart. Okay, so there is a one way veins. Okay, it only carries carbon dioxide. Okay, it's not that it can carry oxygen also. No. Okay, it only carries carbon dioxide. Now, arteries. Number two, arteries. Okay, so arteries carry oxygenated rich blood. So it carries oxygenated red blood. Rich blood. Whereas vein carries carbon dioxide rich blood from the body to the heart. Whereas arteries carries oxygenated rich blood from the heart to the blood. From the heart to, you can write tissues. Tissues or other body parts. Okay, or other body parts. Okay, so arteries are elastic, thick-walled, and they are elastic and they have thick-walled and elastic, and they are deep inside our body. Deep inside our body. Okay, so we have a difference. That means veins are situated just under the skin. That means they are not deep. Okay, and can be seen. Okay, can be seen. Whereas arteries are located deep inside the body and can't be seen. Veins carry carbon dioxide rich blood from the body to the heart. Whereas arteries carry oxygenated rich blood from the heart to the other body parts. Okay, so they are different parts. Okay, one to carry carbon dioxide and another one to carry oxygen rich blood. Okay, then we have capillaries. So capillaries are network of what you can say tubes, and they are thin. Okay, which are connected with arteries and veins. Capillaries are connected with arteries and veins. Okay. So this was all about blood vessel.